Today on TalkFunding Deep Dive, we're joined by Parker from Tego and the Tego Roll and Go Ultimate Travel Bag. It's going to be a good one. So let's go. Let's get on with the show. Hello, TalkFunders. And here we are again with Parker from Tego. And in this deep dive, I'm really going to hand it over to Parker to walk us through his third iteration of his Tego bag. Over to you, Parker.
Hey, good morning. It's nice to be here and thanks for having me. So where should we start? I mean, do you have a list of questions that you usually go through? Because I can certainly walk you through the product.
I just want you to walk us through the product as if I'm here with you and you're really just showing everybody, the TalkFunders and the Indiegogoers, every part of your every part of your travel bag.
This is the Tego Adventure Kit. And the killer feature of the Tego Adventure Kit is that when you open it up, it's a tool roll. And when you open it up, it has a variety of different sections for things that you carry. So this is what we call the closure carry because it's got the belt on the outside. This is a liquid pocket carry. It's a waterproof pocket for things that might explode. We call this the big mouth pocket. It's got two elastic sections that you pull open using these tabs. This is a zipper pocket for tall, skinny things that you don't want to mix with everything else, like hairbrushes or toothbrushes. This is the elastic loop pocket. And then this last one is a hanger so that you can hang the whole thing vertically. And the magic of Tego is that each section comes apart. So they have a hook on one side, a series of hooks right here, and a slide on the other. And they go together. Here, I'm just going to do it. It's a little bit hard to do it in my lap, but hold on just a sec. So they go together like this, and then you slide them apart like this. It's really easy to do it. So what that means is that you can design a bag that is the perfect bag for every occasion. So if you're going on a short trip, like a weekend trip, you throw one section in with a hanger, like this section with a hanger. And if you're going on a weeks-long safari, you add a few sections. If you are carrying tools, you get sections that are specifically for tools. If you're carrying art supplies, there's sections that are specifically for art supplies. But what we like to say is that what you carry is as unique as your fingerprint. So why use a bag that's designed by somebody else?
And that's the beauty of it. I mean, the links to the Indiegogo page will be in the video description below. And in the main interview, we looked at there's the section part of it where really you show there's the key sort of 7 key sections to it, and it's basically modifications of each. So if somebody needs an extra, not an extra hanger, but an extra thing to store their electrical leads or their toiletries, they can store that. Yeah,
this is our third campaign and the biggest yet. And after every campaign, we pull a series of backers into a Slack channel. And we call this group the Tego Testers. And it was inspired by something I saw at eBay where they would pull their power users in for a weekend and not even pay the people. They would just shower them with swag and then get to interview them about all of these new features and what their thoughts were. And it was just gold for eBay. So this is my attempt to do that, is to every tester gets a free roll at the end of the period. And the benefit for us was the opportunity to interview users for basically a year. And every week we'd have about 2 questions of the day that would spark days of conversation because people log in occasionally. And I think I mentioned before, I tried when I started to have these people just one-on-one conversations with them, and that was logistically impossible. And so I put them all into the same room, and that was where the magic really happened. So they would start arguing, and they'd come up with great ideas, and they'd make it better. They'd improve on them. They'd shoot them down. And practically every idea that's in this roll, from the sections to the material to the closure, all came from customers. So it was basically co-designed with the customers from the last one.
In terms of co-designing with the customer in mind, is there any sort of, can we just maybe have a closer look at the main section with the belt on it? I mean, just in terms of the deep dive, just to really look closely at that. So like that's essential. That's the sort of that's the basic sort of building block on which everything else comes, because you need the belt there, and to bring it all together whenever you are traveling. Yeah.
So here's how it works. So you basically roll it up, and no matter how big it is, this section's going to be on the outside. And then you have about a foot of webbing, and the webbing goes around and fits into a webbing, it's like a series of daisy chained webbings on the other side. And then you just pull it tight. And so it works. This is just one section, but we've had 12 of these together, and that was about 35 sections that were 12 feet long overall. And when you roll it up, it closes up just fine.
And then you get,
I think that's like the extreme user.
And then you get additional straps to, like, if you wanted to extend that out, you can to keep able to roll it up, etc. And just looking at the fabric, just holding the bag up so we can just see the bag. In terms of going on back to the Indiegogo page, it was like, it's really strong, durable, water resistant fabric that you've used.
It's really interesting fabric. The cool thing about the fabric is that it is made from recycled PET. That's soda bottles. So each bag, the exterior fabric and the inner lining uses the equivalent of 2.7 recycled soda bottles. So that's all post-consumer, pulled out of the waste stream. And I want Tego to be one of the first planet-friendly companies from start to finish, just like Patagonia, Columbia, companies like that. I want to be just like that.
And the other aspect in terms of deep dive is actually the stitching and everything that goes together to put that together, the straps, each modular section. And is there possibly a way for us to look at the actual, can you basically connect two sections together just to show us how to do that to the camera?
Yeah. I'm just going to take this stuff out. It makes it easier. Hold on.
This is great. This is like a live demonstration.
So
here we go.
This is the hook section right here. And this has a slide on it. So this is like a female and a male side. And all you do is you fit them together like that. And they're starting to go, and then just pull. And then they're all together.
Wow. It's as simple as that.
It is as simple as that.
Whenever you are fitting them together, is it best what you've just done there to have all the pockets empty, all the different sections empty, and then build it?
If they're empty, and you can do it when they're full. You got to pull harder on it. We found too that if you do it for a long time, sometimes it'll get a little bit harder to slide together, and a little silicone on there works wonders. I thought I should tell you. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Well, I thought I should tell you too that we were concerned about, this is the first time that these slides have been used like this, sort of interchangeably. They're usually used for chest straps on backpacks, to be able to slide a backpack strap up or down. And so we really wanted to run it through its paces. And we started by just kind of sliding them back and forth. And then, here, let me see if I can get this. Hold on a sec.
No worries.
This is the, we called it the STS 2000. I don't even know what it stands for, but it's basically we took a bag of parts and a sketch and a dream down to a local high school class here that's run by a teacher named Kristen Berbawi. And those kids just were amazing. I mean, this is like a professionally engineering test platform. And the way it works is, when you turn it on, it will slide this slide back and forth 500 times. You can program it. So we programmed it to run for 5,000 times, and then we just left it. And we came back and it was working just fine. So we let it go for another 5,000 times. It takes about 12 seconds to do a full cycle, and it uses a 3D printing motor to run back and forth. And then over here, there's an LED that just keeps track of how many times that it's gone. So we did about a dozen different tests on different slides, different sections, and it came through with flying colors. So I feel pretty comfortable that this novel usage of these slides is going to be okay.
Superb. Is this the first generation that you're using these slides of the 3 generations? So yeah, I just love it.
Our big takeaway from the testers was what you carry is not what I carry, and that we want to be able to change what we carry. And that's how we ended up with the sections. And then once we had the sections, we went looking for hardware that would support it. And this was the best that we found.
And so like, I think that's so important. So I'll use me as examples to say I have to go to, when we can just have to fly to London or something for an overnight thing. I just really have to just grab one section and then maybe have my toiletries in that section, roll that up. And I, you know, as you were saying, going through the airport security or everything, that's all dealt with, you know, so fantastic. And then say if I'm doing like a walking weekend or something where I'm doing an overnight and I need to bring extra maybe more walking stuff or whatever, I can add another section on. So it's really adaptable to the user's needs.
You got it. And I would, you know, my vision is that you would leave the sections packed at home and just add on the sections that you need when you need them.
And I basically, and just in finishing up the deep dive, I would really like to thank Parker of Tego, and all the links to his excellent Indiegogo campaign will be in the video description below. Thank you so much, Parker. Cheers, mate. Thank you.